Hey everyone, it's Jen, and thank you for joining me for this practice today. This practice is going to be a combination of gentle movements and then yin style poses. So, poses where we'll hold those postures for a little bit longer period of time. So, today's sequence is centered around the symbolism of the gomukhasana or the cowface pose. So, in ancient India and in the tradition of yoga, cows are thought to be a symbol of peacefulness as well as humility and humbleness. And so, this idea of humbleness is considered to be a quality that connects us in to the yama known as satya. So, one of the ethical principles of yoga, satya, which means truthfulness. So, the idea with the, the symbolism of the cow being this animal of humility and humbleness is that this particular pose connects us in to the truth of where we happen to be in that very moment. So, in our mat or also in our lives, we can sometimes wish to be someplace else other than we happen to be in that moment. So, we might wish to go deeper into the pose or to be in a stronger variation of the pose. But this particular pose, as well as the concept of satya, allows us to just feel present with where we happen to be in that moment, whether it is on our yoga mat or off of our yoga mat. So we'll carry that symbolism throughout our practice today, just this cultivation of presence and then acceptance of wherever it is that we happen to find ourselves. So you can start with your body in the simple cross leg position, or I also want to offer hero's pose, virasana. And so this one's a little stronger in the knees. So you may find that because of any restriction you might have in the knees, this pose may not work, but you may find that it works great and is a more comfortable position actually to meditate in. So if you have a yoga block, right, you can catch hold of one of your blocks. You're going to take your hip bones and stack them over your knees. Just have the strap nearby within hand's reach. You're going to take the block and place it between the inner edges of your feet. And then you're going to hug your inner edges of your feet into the block. You can sit straight down onto the block, or you could use a bolster or a pillow. And you set the bolster or the pillow over the block, and then you come down onto that support. It feels really nice, allows for a little more mobility in the pelvis, lots of length through the spine. Then we're going to turn the palms to face upward toward the sky. Closing the eyes. Palms facing upward to the sky is a gesture of openness. So, allowing that sense of openness to connect you to this moment that you find yourself in. And begin to feel the breath across the back of your throat. Deepening the feeling of the breath across the throat connects us into the energy center at the throat, also associated with Satya, truthfulness, an ability to speak clearly and authentically, to hear and honor the truths of others. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then as you're exhaling, just softly sigh the breath out through the mouth. Bringing the hands up, interlocking the hands behind the neck and the head, supporting the back of the skull with the hands. As you're inhaling, let the back of the head tip a little bit into the hands as the chin slightly lifts up toward the ceiling. And then as you're exhaling, you're going to curl your elbows into the sides of the face, arcing and rounding a bit through the back body. Doing that again, inhale, letting your elbows open up, opening through your throat. Exhale, curling your elbows in, taking a gentle round in the back body. One more time. Inhale, let your elbows open. And exhale, curl your elbows in. Take your chin in, round through your spine. Inhale, come back to neutral. Open the elbows out to the side. Release your hands and allow them to come back down onto your thighs. So we're going to catch hold of this strap or whatever you're using that's like a strap, and we're going to hold the strap in the right hand. So I like to typically hold the buckles so that they're not moving around a whole lot. So you're going to hold the strap in the right hand and loop that strap behind the back of your body. So you're going to just start to stretch up through your right elbow, right hand. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend your right elbow so that the right hand is coming down to the middle part of the upper back, sort of like near the cervical region of the spine, the neck region. Left hand is going to sweep up, catching hold of your right elbow. And you're just going to take a little tricep stretch here. So opening through the back side of the arm, draw your ribs in a bit and anchor your sitting bones down into the floor. Take your chin and slightly draw it in as the crown of the head reaches up. So taking the top arm of the gomukhasana, cow-faced arm. Now you can stay here in this position, or this left arm is going to sweep out. And as it's sweeping out, the palm's going to face the back of the room. Roll your shoulder up toward your ear and then sweep that left arm down and back until you catch hold of the bottom of the strap. And then just gently feel the back of your head release into your forearm. Be very mindful of the left shoulder. You want to avoid feeling a really strong sensation in the front of that left shoulder. Take an inhale. As you're exhaling, nice and slow, release your left hand, release your right hand, and then just roll your shoulders a bit. Okay, and then we're going to transfer this strap into the left arm, sending the left arm up to the sky. Strap is dangling down the center of the back. Bend your left elbow. Let the hand come down to the middle of the uppermost part of your back. Draw your front ribs in. You're going to then allow your right arm to sweep out to the side, catching hold now of your left elbow, drawing the ribs slightly in toward one another so that the sitting bones draw downward toward the floor, and you stretch the back part of your left arm, tricep region. Nice full breath in and out. So honoring where your body is at by either staying here or allowing this right arm to open out to the side, turn your palm to face behind you, roll your shoulder up to your ear, and then sweep the right arm back, catching hold of the bottom part of the strap. Gomukhasana, cow face arms. Because of the internal rotation that's occurring in the right shoulder, this pose asks us to be very mindful and honor the needs of the body. meeting the body where the body is at in this moment, knowing you can always return to the tricep stretch. Take a last breath in and the last breath out here. Okay. Slowly releasing the right hand and then the left hand, and then giving just a little bit of movement in the region of the shoulders. Okay, we're gonna come up now to all fours, tabletops. You can move your strap and your pillow or your bolster out to the side. You can take the blacks. You can leave them near the back short side at this point, just one on each side of the yoga mat. And we're going to come to tabletop position. So spreading through your fingers, taking a breath in, let your belly release down to the floor so you stretch open through the front plane of the body. And then as you're exhaling, press into your hands. Round your spine, press into the balls of the feet a bit, and then sink your sitting bones back toward your heels in an extended child's pose position. And then breathe in, let your hips rise back up. Let your belly release down toward the mat as you lift up your heart. And then as you're exhaling, pressing into your hands, rounding your back, pressing the balls of the feet into the mat, and then sinking your sitting bones down toward your heels. And then one more time that way. Breathe in, let your body come back up. Release through the belly, lift up through your heart. Exhale, press into the balls of the feet as you begin to round, and then send your sitting bones down toward your heels. Rising back up. Now, as you come to table, you're going to ground into your right knee. Pick up your left knee and move your left knee behind your right, starting to create that shape of the cow face legs. You're going to move your feet out to the outsides of your yoga mat. And I always tend to need to walk my hands in a little closer to the body. So legs are crossed, feet are wide. Breathe in, release your belly down to the mat, lift up through your heart. And then as you're exhaling, start to move your hips back toward the floor again, stretching through the outer right hip. So modified cow face position with the legs. Breathe in, come back up to table so the right knee will release. Now let your belly release down toward the floor, and then exhale, press into your hands and just start to rack your hips back toward the floor. So mine are hovering fairly high away from the mat. One more time. Inhale, let your right knee come down, releasing through the belly, elevating through the heart. Exhale, press your hands, and then just round through your spine. Take your breath in, come back up, bring your feet closer together, uncross the left leg, let your left knee come down. You can just take a little bit of swaying with your hips from side to side. Okay, and then shifting into the left knee, picking your right knee up, crossing your right knee behind your left, and moving the feet back apart again. So we're going to do that same cat-cow movement with the cow face legs. So you're going to breathe in and release your belly, lifting up through your heart space. Exhale, starting to send your hips toward the mat behind you, stretching through your left hip. Inhale as you're rocking back up, left knee's coming down, belly is releasing, heart is lifting. Exhale, rounding your spine, sitting bones toward the floor. One more time. Inhale as you come up, releasing through the belly, lifting through the heart. Exhale, pressing into your hands and rounding your back as your hips reach down. Inhale as you come back up. Gonna bring your feet closer together, unhooking your right knee from behind your left knee, and then swaying out your hips from side to side. Okay, so we're gonna come around to our seat. I'm just gonna turn out to face you, although you're welcome to face the front short side of the mat. You're going to take your legs out in front of you. You're going to let your hands go back behind you, leaning your weight into your hands and leaving your left leg down. You're going to be picking up the right leg. We're going to do a little bit of pulsing with this right knee. So you're going to hook the right knee in toward the right arm, and then you're going to send it back out. And then you're going to hook the knee in toward the arm, and then you're going to reach it back out, and then hook in, and then send it out. 2 more times. Reach in, and then send the leg out. Last one, reach in, and then sending the leg out, second side. So let your right leg stay down. You're going to pick up your left leg, bend the left knee, draw it back, and then reach it back out. And then hook it in towards the left arm, and then send it out. Hook the knee in, sending it out 2 more times. Hook the knee in, sending it out. Last one, hook the knee in, and then send the leg out. So we're coming down onto the spine now. So shifting your hips to about the center of your yoga mat, coming down to the floor and stretching your body out in a nice long full body stretch. So press through the heels, reach through your fingertips. We're going to take a breath in here, and then as you're exhaling, you're going to slide your right heel toward the right sitting bone. Knee is bending. Eventually, the foot is lifting up. You're going to hook your hands onto your right shin bones. You're going to hold the right thigh into the body with the left hand as you open your right arm out to the right side of the room. With your left hand, exhale, guide the right leg across the body as you take a spinal twist, which might feel nice in the chest, the spine, spinal muscles, but also the outer hip. And then as you're inhaling, just rocking back up. And as you're exhaling, guide the leg across the body. Inhale to come back to the center. Exhale to guide the leg across the body. Inhale to come back up to the center. One last time. Exhale, guide the leg across the body. Inhale, come to the center. Keep your right knee and thigh hugging in toward your right ribs. You can even take both hands, kind of squeeze the thigh in. You're going to bend your left knee and place your left foot flat to the floor. We're going to take figure 4. So you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh, your shape of your legs, creating the figure 4 shape. You can always stay right here or pick up your left foot so that the shape of your legs comes in toward your body, and you hook your hands behind the back of your left thigh. And then we'll hold here, and we'll take a minute just to find the rhythm of the breath. Noticing the space of the throat, connecting us into Satya or truthfulness, reconnecting to the symbolism of the gomukhasana cowface pose, allowing ourselves to be present and truthful in the moment that we're in. Okay, last round of inhalation and exhalation. Okay, releasing the hands, allowing the left foot to come down to the floor, uncrossing the right foot, and then swaying the knees a few times from side to side in the windshield wiper motion. Okay, taking a full body stretch again, elongating the legs, stretching up through your arms. Take a nice deep full breath in. As you're exhaling, beginning to draw your left heel up toward the sitting bone, picking the foot up off the floor and looping the hands around to your left shin bones. Squeezing the left thigh in toward the left ribs, holding it there with your right hand as you open your left arm out to the side. Taking a breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to find the left leg, drawing across the body, taking a spinal twist here. And then breathe in, come back up through the center, and exhale, guide the left leg across the body into a spinal twist, feeling the rotation through the spine, the ribs, the stretch across the chest, rise through the center, again, twist to the right. Come back to the center one more time, twisting over to the right. Inhale, coming back to the center, squeezing the left thigh into the left ribs, both hands wrapping around to the left shin bone. Rebend the right knee, place the right foot flat to the floor, and take the left ankle, crossing it over the right thigh in the figure four shape. Staying here or picking the right foot up and allowing the legs to hug in toward the body and maybe looping the hands across the back of the right thigh. As you're breathing here, feeling like you're sending the breath down deeper into the pelvis. Okay, take one more inhalation and exhalation here. Allowing your hands to release, your right foot to come down, your left foot to come down, and then you'll sway your knees a few times from side to side. Now, as the knees point up to the sky, we're going to slide the hips just a bit over to the right, and we're going to take a windshield wiper twist so you can open your arms out into the T. You can let your knees swing over to the left. And you can stay here in this windshield wiper twist, or you can come into the revolved abdominal version of the twist where the right leg starts to slide on top of the left. So the legs hug into the belly region and the left hand can come to rest on the top right thigh. Now, if that twist feels too deep in your hip or your spine or spinal muscles, it's important to honor the body and take the body back into the windshield wiper twist. You might allow your head to rock to the left, and then just take a few slow, deep rounds of inhalation and exhalation. Taking another cycle or two of breath here. Okay, after your next inhalation and exhalation, We're going to be bringing the legs back up to the center. So you can always slide through that windshield wiper twist again, or you can just simply rock the legs back up into the center. Your hips are a little off centered, they're to the right. So you want to slide your hips back to the center. And then we're going to cross the right leg on top of the left leg. So here we have almost the shape of the eagle legs. Now you can stay here, or we're going to turn this into reclined cow face position with the legs by floating the left foot away from the floor. Now the feet end up moving apart just like we did in tabletop, and the arms end up reaching up and catching hold of the shins or the ankles. So feet are moving apart. The right thigh is drawing in toward the torso. Deep inhalation and exhalation. Okay, last round of inhale and exhale. You simply let the hands release, let the legs uncross, bring the feet back down to the floor. Take a couple windshield wiper sways from side to side. Okay, and then the knees are going to come to the center. We're going to slide the hips over to the left and allow the knees to fall over to the right. Now, as the knees are falling over to the right in that windshield wiper twist, you have the option to stay here if this feels the best on your body, or slide your left leg until it's on top of the right leg in the revolved abdominal twist. And then the right hand can be placed upon the left top thigh, and then you just release that left shoulder down, release the left arm down. Feeling the twisting component through the abdominal region, ribs and spine. If you like, you can rotate the head to the right. Taking a few more rounds of breath here. Okay, taking two more cycles of breath here. Okay, releasing your right hand, and you can always take the legs back through windshield wiper twist, or you can slowly bring the legs, kind of rock them up to the center with the feet floating up in the air. But as you come to the center, you're going to want to slide your hips from the left back into the center. And then you're going to take your left foot and lift it up so that you can cross your left leg over your right leg, just like you were sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. And you can stay here. So, energetically, just that winding of the legs is very centering and calming. You can also float your right foot away from the floor. As that right foot floats away from the floor, you're going to move your feet apart. They're moving away from one another, creating that gomukhasana cow shape pose with the legs. And then you reach down and catch hold, right? Ankles, shin bones. This uh, hip for me is feels a little more restricted. So I'm keeping the hands up a little higher than I did on the first side. Relax your shoulders and concentrate the breath at the throat center. Okay, last inhalation and exhalation here. Now let the hands begin to release. Let the right foot and the left foot come down, and then some swaying through the knees. Okay. You can always extend the legs out into Shavasana, final rest, or I'm going to also offer a reclined bound angle position. So this is where you may want to use the two blocks. So the soles of the feet can come together and the knees can open up. And so I like to angle my blocks in toward my body. So I kind of rack them up. It's not totally necessary, but I do find that it provides that angle of the blocks into the legs, provides a little bit more of a like a comforting position. Otherwise, you could always just leave the blocks flat on the floor and just use the support that way, or you may find that you don't need any blocks at all. Okay, the other option is to take the legs out long. So you're going to place the hands to the belly region and allow the eyes to softly close. Allowing the hands to connect into the body as a way of cultivating presence and stepping back into a greater connection with the body. We find ourselves wrapped up in the stories of our mind. We can also become somewhat detached from the physical body in the sense that we're not hearing the messages that the physical body is always sending. So we allow the hands to connect and make the intention to be present to the feeling in the body. Deep breath in beneath the hands. Deep settling exhale. Allowing your body to remain still. Just taking another deep, full inhale and exhale. If you're in the supported bound angle position, you can reach down with your hands and just slide the blocks so that they're out of your way to the sides. Point your knees so that they're up toward the sky and roll your body over to the right or to the left side. We're going to press the hands down and come back up to seated position. So as you're arriving there in the seated position, you can let your hands come together in the prayer position, lifting the centered chest toward the thumbs. The light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.